For this objective, we need to be able to write equations in standard or slope-intercept form. So we're going to be doing basically literal equations. We're going to take one equation and switch it into another format just by rearranging the terms. So let's take a look at some examples. Number 1 says find the slope-intercept form of the equation. Slope-intercept form I know means I want it to be in y equals mx plus b format. So I want it to be solved for y. This one's solved for y. This one's solved for y. This one is not solved for y, so we can go ahead and eliminate that as a choice. And this one is not solved for y, it's solved for x instead, so we can eliminate that as a choice. So we'll write down our equation, negative 3x plus 3y equals 8. And if we want it in y equals mx plus b, fix that, then it needs to be solved for y. So I need to get the y by itself. I'm going to start by moving this negative 3x term to the other side by adding 3x to each side. Those will cancel out. So now we have 3y equals 3x plus 8. And in order to finish solving for y, I need to divide by 3. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So we now have y equals 3x divided by 3 is going to be 3 over 3x, which is just x. And then 8 divided by 3 is positive 8/3. So we have y equals x plus 8 over 3. That means that we want answer choice A. For number 2, very similar question. We want to find the slope-intercept form of this equation. That means I want it to be in y equals mx plus b format. This one is solved for y, so it's a possibility. This one is not solved for y, so we're going to eliminate that as a choice. It's not in the format that we want it to be in. This one is solved for y, but this one is solved for x, so we can eliminate that one as well. And then we'll write down our equation, negative 6x minus 3y equals 6. Since I want to solve for y, I want to move this negative 6x to the other side first. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides. Those will cancel out. So we have negative 3y equals 6x plus 6. And I wrote the x term first because we want it in y equals mx plus b. So I want the x term first and my constant at the end. Now I need to divide everything by negative 3. So y equals negative 6. Let's see, I could write this out for you. 6x divided by negative 3. Because remember, we're going to distribute this negative 3. Everything needs to be divided by negative 3. Plus 6 divided by negative 3. When we look a little closer, 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2x. And then positive 6 divided by negative 3 is going to give us negative 2. So y equals negative 2x minus 2. That means that we want to choose choice C. And remember, if you don't get something that's an answer choice, you need to look back at your work and see where you've possibly made a mistake. All right, let's move on to, I think we're going to skip number 3. It's very similar to 1 and 2, but I'd like to do number 4. Number 4 says find the standard form of this equation. Well, this one is in mx plus b format. We need to switch it back to standard form. Remember that standard form means we're looking for some number times x plus some number times y equals a constant number. So we want it to be in this format. And that's b. That's a little bit. This one is ax plus by equals c, so that's a possibility. This one is solved for x, which means it's not in standard form. We can eliminate that choice. This one is not in standard form. It's got the x and the y on opposite sides, and we want them to be on the same side. So we can eliminate that as a choice. This one is in standard form. We have something times x and then something times y, and it equals a number. So this one is a possibility. Let's do our work right here. Number 3. So we have it in this format. Y equals 8 over 3x plus 3. I think the first thing I'd like to do is to multiply everything by 3 because I don't like denominators. We want to get rid of that. So 3 times y is going to be 3y. 3 times 8 over 3 will cancel out the 3, so we're left with just 8x. And then positive 3 times 3 is positive 9. Almost done. We want it in standard form, so we want the x and the y to be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. In standard form, we have the x term first, so I'll write negative 8x. And then we have this 3y, which was positive 3y, equals, those are canceled out, so it just equals 9. Well, I noticed that this is not an answer choice, is it? They have 8x, they have 8x, they don't have negative 8x. So what we have to think about is that we could take and multiply everything in here by a negative. So negative times negative 8x is positive 8x. Negative times positive 3y is negative 3y. And that equals negative times 9 is negative 9. Just like when you're using the LCD strategy, as long as you multiply everything by the same thing, you've made an equivalent expression or equivalent equation. So now we're looking for 8x minus 3y equals negative 9. And that means I'm going to want answer choice D. So you see how this, what we had right here, was not an exact answer choice. So we had to look a little bit closer for an equivalent equation. Multiplying everything by a negative does give us this choice, so we'll choose answer choice D.